Welcome to Tech Simplified channel.
To predict the accuracy of a particular sign. Okay, now what the LSTM architecture? So basically, the LSTM and all the neural network, you know that the consist of the various layers. For example, we already see in the CNN that there are three layers. That is the input layer, hidden layers, output layer. But in the LSTM, there are different types of the gates available. The first is called as the input gate. So input gate determines what new information to store, and the forget gate decide which past information to discard, because every past information is not used in the next prediction. Okay, and the output gate determines the next hidden states. Okay, and there is a one state also, the cell state, that stores the long term memory. So why it is called long term memory? Because it's for long term as well as short term memory. Okay, and depending on both, it gives you a predictions. So in that cases, the accuracy of the prediction is high. So mostly all the different apps that are available for the stocks price prediction uses the LSTM models. Okay, now how this LSTM is different than the traditional RNN. So basically, traditional RNN like vanilla RNN, there is a problem. The main problem is a vanishing gradient issue. Means when the accuracy is going to increase, it might be possible at that time the data losses is also done. Okay, so making them effective for the long sequences. But LSTM uses gate, so it means it manages the memory very efficiently and allowing them to retain important information over longer time steps. Okay, so problem is that in the traditional RNN that there are very less memories, so we cannot store the information for the longer time. But in the LSTM, we uh, have the provision to store the information for the longer time. Okay. Now, what are the different application of the LSTM? So LSTM is used for the forecasting, that is a stock price prediction, or to predicting the future trends, speech recognition, uh, language modeling, and the anomaly detection for the network data analysis. Okay. So for example, if you want to predict that the particular operations or the particular event that occurs in the network has done by the intruder or done by the authorized user, at that time also the LSTM model you can use. Okay. Now, what is conclusion? That LSTM is an advanced version of the RNN, and that solves the memory retention issues, and it is effective for the long sequence data. Okay, that is required for the speech and for the finance use cases, and the key component in the modern deep learning applications. Researchers are also doing a various variant of the LSTM for increasing the accuracy also. So this I am going to explain you the basic version of the LSTM so that you can able to implement easily the stock price prediction. Okay, for today's session we require two libraries of Python. Okay, so if you are working in your system, please install these libraries. First is a yfinance. This yfinance is a Yahoo Finance okay, that we are going to use in the LSTM model. And second, we required a OpenCV that we are going to use for the image classification. Okay, so please.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So we are going to implement first the LSTM, stock price prediction. Okay. Okay. So how to do the stock price prediction? For that, we required first input. Okay. So you know that the input is very big for the stock price prediction because we have to take a 20-year, 30-year data set for the stock price prediction. Okay. So for that, I am taking one inbuilt data set that is available in the Python, and that is a Yahoo Finance data set. Okay, so for that only we use this yfinance library. Okay, and in this yfinance library we have means various data sets, not one, we have various data sets available. Okay, so first of all, we have to fetch any one data, any one stock. Okay, so in this Yahoo Finance dataset, there are lots of the companies stock price data set is available, like Apple, this MSFT is a Microsoft Finance, AMZN is a Amazon, this TSL is a Tesla data set. Okay, so many data set is available. Okay, so basically we have to find out that we have to first choose any one stock, and we have to predict the price of the stock on the basis of the price given in the this data set. Okay, so first of all, for that you have to download the data set of any one of stock. Okay, because we have to not take many stock one time, we want to take one stock at one time. Okay, now you have to mention that dates, means from which date to which date. For example, here I mentioned the date, that is a 1st January 2015 to 1st January 2024. I am taking this data set and download this data set and store this data set in a one variable, that is a df, that is my data frame. Okay, and from that we want to get only the closing values, because you know that throughout the days the values of the stocks are fluctuating, but for predicting we require the close value, means the close value of that particular stock. Okay, so we have to check that we want to use that value only for the prediction purpose. Okay, now we have to normalize the data set. Okay, because we don't know that the data set having the normal distribution or not. So we first take the min-max scalar to normalize the data set, because the size of the data set is very high. So in that cases, if the normalization is done, then the values are changed in a either 0 to 1 range. Okay, so the processing of data is fast as compared to the original data set. Okay, so for that I am using this min-max scalar. Now we have to fit that data set. Okay, so we have to fit underscore transform method and pass this data and store the data in the scaled data set. Okay, now as this is a sequential data set, we have to first create a different sequences, and that sequences are based on some timestamp value. Okay, so here I make a one function that is a create sequence. Okay. And in that, I have passed two arguments. One is a data set and second is a timestamp. So I take a timestamps of 60. Okay. Means timestamp of 60 means I am taking the last 60 days data set to predict the next value. Okay. And you can change according to your choice this timestamp. Okay. Now we have to uh, make two variable x and y. X is a independent data and y is a dependent data. Okay. Because when we are predicting any value, the stock price is dependent on various things. So the things in which the stocks are dependent are considered as X, and the final price of the stock is considered as the Y. So I am taking these two null list to storing that values because these are the sequence values. So there are multiple values are there. Okay. Now, for every data set of 60 timestamp, I have to append the data set having then I plus timestamp. Means, for example, the first day is there. Okay. So first plus 60, next day is a 61st day. So I have to time is stamping this in a particular way. Okay. So here this append method is used. This is a list method that is used to append the values in the list. And here I pass data set. And this is a matrix where I pass the range. Okay. So this is I colon I plus timestamp. So first of all, the I value is 0, then 0 colon 60. Then in the next case, this is a 1 and this is a 61. Okay, so similarly, we can store and generate the values of x and y. These and x and y are the array type values. So I return this arrays x and array y. And to convert this into an array, I use the numpy so that I can use np.array. Okay. Now, after creating the sequences, we have to create sequences for the training data and testing data that we already done in other algorithms also. So we have to generate four variables. One is x train, x test, y train, y test. We want to um, get all these variables. So in the x train and y train, I create sequences method I called and pass the train data set and the timestamp. Okay. So train data, what is a train data? Okay. That is here, scaled data. And timestamp is 60 that we have taken. Okay. Now for the X test and Y test, I take the test data and the timestamps. Means for the testing data and training data, timestamps are same. Okay. But the data sets are different. Okay. Now to reshape the data set into a 3D format for the LSTM, because LSTM requires a 3D data set. Okay. So for that, you have to reshape the data set. So for that, here I can use np.reshape. Okay. And then I use x underscore train shape of 0 and x underscore train shape of 1. Because first we generate a data frame of 2-dimensional. So I take a 0 and 1 index and I convert it in how many features? 1 features. So we have to pass 3 things: sample, timestamps, and features. Similarly, I can do this for the testing data set. Okay. Now we have to build the LSTM model. So for the LSTM model, you have to first take how many units you want to process in a one sequence. Okay. So for that, I am taking here 50 units, and you want to return the sequences or not, you have to pass that. And what is the shape of input? So the shape of input is depend on the time step, means how many days data you are taking, and what dropout you are preferring, means because there is some dropout, but you can fix the threshold here. Okay. Now this is an input layer, this is an output layer, and this is a hidden layer, and this is a dense layer. Okay, we want to predict only one outcome, so here the units is 1. Okay. Now in the similar way of the CNN and RNN, we have to model the data set, fit the data set, and compile the data set. Okay. Now in the fitting of the data set, I make a EPOS of 10. I already explained you how EPOS going to affect your output. And we want to make a prediction of the stock prices. So I want to use here this predict method. This predict method is available in the sklearn library. And for prediction, we require a testing data set. Okay. Now, if you want to print the value, you can print the value, but this is not a one value. This is a huge amounts of values. So mostly when you are going to show this as an output, you want to make some graphical representation. And for that, I am using this matplotlib library. You can see here. This is matplotlib for plotting the stock prices. Okay. And for plotting that, there is a method figure that make a figure of the fixed size. If you want to fix, then this is a two-dimensional diagram. So you have to plot first the actual values and second the predicted values. So this is for the actual values training, and this is for the prediction values. Okay. Then in the x-axis, I want to print date. In the y-axis, I want to print a stock. And this is my title. And this plt.show is to show the graph. Okay. Now I am going to run. It takes some time. 1 second.
Welcome to Tech Simplified channel.
What is changed in our program? So for example, here I put this MSFT. Okay, that is a Microsoft. So this is for the Tesla, and similarly it is going to do for the another stock. So you have to take one stock at a time. Okay. In this also you can see that there are 55 columns. All the stocks have the 55 columns as an independent data. Okay, and on the basis of that, the algorithm is going to predict the price of the stock. So you can find trend also, that in which month the price of the stock is high, in which month the price of a stock is low, so that you can take a decisions that uh, you you have to purchase the stock or not. Yes, there is an option of the customization of the graph. This sklearn is a library that is used for the mostly for the pre-processing, for the calculating of the accuracy, precisions, and all that. Actually, this matplotlib, and there is a one library that is called cborn. Okay, so this cborn, alias name is SNS. So you can either use matplotlib or either use SNS for plotting. But this scikit-learn is sklearn is used for the pre-processing of the data set. I don't understand your question. What you are going to ask? And you can see this is for the MFST, that is a Microsoft Finance dataset. Okay. So when you change the stock, your graph is changed because the values of the stocks are different. Okay. There are lots of the customizations are possible in the graphs. Okay. But mostly for the research purpose, we have to show graph in this way only, and also we have to make a table for the numerical values if you want to show. Okay. Yes, I will share you the code, not a problem. But before going to run this code, please install this Wi-Fi